we had always used a script, right?
Yeah.
So I knew when it was my turn to speak and I could say my line, right?
Yeah.
And then you go on set with Robin and it's like, who the knows what's going to happen now?
So good.
The terrorists, they ran that way. It was a run by fruiting.
He was also just a consummate performer. He was very kind and very giving, very fatherly, and very funny.
It's a family reunion for the Mrs. Doubtfire kids, over 30 years after Robin Williams played their on-screen dad, who took on a British nanny persona to spend more time with his children.
The whole time you would, the whole time.
Mara Wilson, Lisa Jakub, and Matthew Lawrence look back on the 1993 comedy, chatting with Matt's real-life siblings on their Brotherly Love podcast.
My brother and his brothers.
La Familia in the house.
It's like a podcast about nothing. Okay, we're not experts in anything.
Well, these five are all experts at being grown-up child stars. When the movie premiered, Lisa was 18, Matt 13, with Mara, the youngest, at just 6 years old.
Two child actors who felt like family, who felt like my siblings.
Yeah,
I
for
feel
sure.
like I got the best possible start, and Sally being lovely.
No,
and
she was so lovely.
I mean, I do think that there was something to us where, you know, like we had siblings that we were close to.
No parties. Mom said you couldn't have one because of your report card.
Mom's not gonna be home for another 4 hours, is she?
A behind-the-scenes fun fact, Lisa was kicked out of her Canadian high school while filming in San Francisco.
And the amazing thing was Robin saw that I was upset. He asked me what was going on. I explained. He wrote a letter to my principal saying
my gosh, really?
that he, wanted them to rethink this decision. Principal got the letter, framed the letter, put it up in the office, and didn't ask me to come back. Amazing.
I went through that a year later. They tried to kick me out of my school. Robin didn't write me a letter for that. But
Sorry, he liked me better.
But he did write me a letter to get into USC.
He did.
Okay, so
That
even.
story.
Of course, this family affair comes just months before fans mark 10 years since Robin's shocking death. His on-screen kids now sharing memories of the iconic comedian's trademark ad-libbing.
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter.
He was one of the probably the best at that, at going off book and creating his own stuff. If you weren't present and you weren't ready for any kind of curveball, you were going to get thrown off.
Yeah, I think I was lucky that a lot of the jokes went over my head. Otherwise, I would have been laughing the whole time.
And Mara, she told ET in 2021 how their three characters actually reflected Robin off the set.
All of the kids in Doubtfire were all of the different sides of him. You had Lisa as Lydia being a little bit more serious and a little bit more introverted, which is what Robin really could be like. You had Matt as Chris being a little bit more mischievous and, a little bit rebellious and funny and kind of funny and cool. And then you had me, and my whole thing was like, blurting things out at the wrong time.
Kids say the darndest things.